Hello, 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 and welcome to the Wyfe Up podcast. Welcome back to the Wyfe Up podcast. I'm so excited that you guys are here. My name is Deetra and I am your host. And today's topic is there a backup? Okay, y'all know what I'm talking about. So let me just get started with a quick little prayer like I like to do. Heavenly Father, thank you for this opportunity to hang out with the Wyfe Up Fam again. Thank you for each and every wife that's listening and each and every husband that may be listening as well. So grateful for covenant marriage. And I just want to honor you, God, in everything that I do. I honor you. I praise your name and worship you. In Jesus' name I pray, amen. Okay, so before I get started, also just to let you know, I have a YouTube channel of the same name. And if you're a visual person like me, then you can head on over there. I like watching people as they speak. You can head on over there. And if you like the content, please like and subscribe to my channel. I'm still in the beginning phases, but you know, it's just growing and growing and growing. And I'm so grateful to God to help me get this word out there. All right, guys. So is there a backup? Is there a backup? When you hear the words backup, what do you think? I looked it up, and backup means help or support. But in this particular case, that's not what we mean. That's not what I mean anyway. A person or thing that can be called on if necessary or reserve. Okay, that's some women think that may be what that person is. For computing, it means an extra copy of data from a computer. Make a backup of any important files. Do you have a backup? Do you have a person that can be called on as a reserve? Do you have an extra copy in case the original is lost or damaged, meaning your husband? You guys get what I mean. Some women say backup. Some women say they have one in the chamber. Some women just have a side dude. Some women call them like insurance. Like I have insurance just in case this guy messes up, meaning your husband, which is insane. But we're going to talk about that. You get it. Here's my question. Are you married and have a backup dude? Now, before you say no, let's break this down. What qualifies as a backup? It means that there's someone in your life that you could call, go see, entertain at some point, Netflix and chill, have sex with, go to the movies with, have dinner with, date, or in other words, cheat. Cheat with. So here are a few examples in case you aren't sure if you qualify. The ex. Some of you are keeping your ex-boyfriends, ex-lovers, ex-husbands, baby daddies on the back burner. You are keeping just enough of a relationship with them and letting them know subconsciously or very much consciously that they can still get it. You're wrong. Let's start with the ex-lover. This person is just a sex buddy. He might have never had any real potential as a husband in your mind, but he's good in bed and great for a cuddle, if you will. In the past, you've only called him when you wanted to hang out, knowing that the night was going to end in sex. For some reason, you're still keeping him around. You might not be actively sleeping with him, but he's only a phone call away. And this dude gives zero cares that you're married. He will still sleep with you anyway. You even still think about this man and all the intimacy y'all had from time to time. Can I just let you know that you're wrong for that? Did you know that cheating starts in the mind? All right. So we did ex-lover. What about ex-husband? Some ladies were married before and you divorced this man. Why is he still in the running? Why is he still even have access to you like that, if necessary? Why are you thinking about him in those terms? Some of you have ex-husbands as backup for a couple of reasons. One, you still have feelings for him. Two, you see that he's moving on, meaning going out, partying, socializing. He's on social media. He wasn't before, etc. And you don't like it. Ooh, I just talked to somebody. Okay. Three, you have kids together and you see him often and now realize that possibly you want to keep your family together. It's too late to apologize. You're married now. You're married to somebody else. 4, have you ever heard the saying, better the devil you know? Well, that basically means that at least you know your ex-husband, flaws and all. But now with this new husband, you're not so sure about him. And it just seems like it was a lot easier with the ex. Let's just say your ex used to leave his socks on the ground. This is just an example. But your new husband leaves his socks, his dirty drawers, his, I was going to say wife beaters, t-shirts, and food. You know what I mean? Just laying around for days. And you're just like, oh my gosh, my ex used to just drop a t-shirt. I can appreciate the t-shirt now. Or the socks or whatever he used to drop. You get what I'm saying? Like, you're making comparisons, but don't do that. 5, you're jealous and you don't want him with anyone else. You've seen the possible replacement and you're pissed. You're like, oh, no, he could do better, or I'm cute, whatever it is that you're comparing yourself with this person. But listen, you're divorced from this man, so let him live his life. You be calling him up for no good reason, just wanting to see how he's doing and get all the Michael Jackson feels and be like, do you remember the time? Okay. Or if you have kids, let's parlay that into the next one. The next one is baby daddy. Some of y'all wives got the baby daddy on a swivel. You do the normal things like call him for some kid-related stuff and even ask how he is, but in the back of your mind, there's still potential. You have a husband now, and even he feels like you talk to this dude way too much. You always be like, oh, it's for little Brittany. That's what we're talking about. But the conversation be about some other stuff. If your husband feels any type of insecurity about the baby daddy, it may be his own insecurities, or it may be because of you. You might be doing too much and you may be flirting with this dude a little too much. Some of you have even slept with their baby daddies after you've gotten married. I don't know who this is for, but just to let you know, you're dead wrong. The baby daddy is the baby daddy, and that's all he is. Your husband gets your 100% undivided attention. That's it. That's it. Okay. Next one is your ex-boyfriend or / ex-fiance. I'll include them together. The one that got away, or at least in your mind, the one who you were engaged to or dated for years. Y'all broke up and both have moved on, but you still want him back. Or at least you're not sure if you do or not, and you want to kind of keep that door open. You got married, and the minute stuff started getting hard, you started thinking about your life with your ex-boyfriend or fiance. You stalk him on Facebook, Instagram, and you stalk his lady. And you stalk her too. Okay. You still keep in touch with him, just enough to let him know that you still like him. You may have even let him know that you feel like you made a mistake. And if you had the chance to do over, you would. That's trifling. That is trifling. I know of a woman, I'm not going to get too much into that story, but I'll just say this. I know of a woman that was married to a guy and they got divorced. And she met this other guy and they were slated to get married. But she still loved her ex-husband. So she called up the ex and said, hey, this is what's about to happen. I'm about to get married, but if you say the word, I will come back to you. I'll drop everything. And he was like, I don't want you. Keep it moving. So she did. She ended up marrying this guy and, going on with her life. But she never got over that. Like there's still some bitterness that's there and still some, So like I said, I'm not going to get too much into their business. But what I'm saying is that happens for sure. Okay, so some of y'all might not be in that, like you might not necessarily, like you might be like, okay, you know what, I'm good. I'm not flirting with any exes. I don't have any ex in my past that I want, no baby daddies, none of that. So, okay, what all she talking about, that don't even pertain to me. Okay, well, I got something for you too. All right, some of y'all are still interviewing the potential backups and you don't even know it. So you might not have an ex-husband, an ex-baby daddy, or a baby daddy, should I say, or an ex-boyfriend that you're like, there's a possibility. Some of y'all might not have that, and that's fine. But there's some people in your life or some people that you're flirting with that you are giving attention to, that you are making believe that they could be that backup dude. And so let's break those down. All right. Let's start with the coworker. I definitely needed to start with the coworker because there's somebody listening right now going, oops, how'd she know about, okay. I know she's not about to talk about me and James because James is just a co-friend. I mean, a friend at work, a coworker. And, okay, so let's break this down. You know who this guy is. There's someone at your job that flirts with you and has made it known that he likes you, even though he knows you're married. Another dude that gives zero cares that you have a husband. And let me be clear, I think my husband talked about that. There are some dudes out there that just don't care. Oh, he was talking about women, how women don't care if a man is married. That's like, once she learns that a man is married, she might be like, okay, I can conquer that. Okay, there are some guys that don't care. You got a wedding ring? Okay. I've had guys ask me, oh, you're married? Like, yeah. Like, are you happily married? Like, nigga, if you don't. All right, so there's someone at your job. I already said that. My daughter just told me that there's a such thing as a work husband. A work husband. That's a real thing. I Googled it after she said that. And so this is what I found. It says more often than not, a work husband is someone you can and do confide in about everything from how you felt about your boss's presentation last Wednesday to elements of your life outside of work, thereby taking on the important role of a confidant, explains Chad McBride, PhD, chair of the Department of Communication Studies at Creighton University, who studies relationships between work spouses. Work spouse. There's a work spouses. Okay, it's been a while since I've been in the workforce. So, and I know my husband be like, you ain't going back to work, my love. That's done. But I really just never, because I used to work down Wall Street in New York, and there were guys that flirt with me at work, but I didn't even ever, there wasn't anybody at my job that I would consider a work spouse. There's one guy that, oddly enough, asked me to, anyway, he was weird. But he wasn't necessarily weird. I was young. I was really young and naive. I didn't quite get what he was saying. But anyway, I had no work spouse. There was nobody that, the women talked amongst each other and the men gathered around the cooler, but there was none of that. So this is kind of new for me to hear this. All right. So this other woman says, this person is your number one ally and advisor at work. The person you can laugh with or be stressed out with, have political incorrect conversations with, and give honest opinions to, says psychologist Linda Young, PhD, previously told to Women's Health magazine. So that just blows me away that it doesn't really blow me away. I'll just say this. This sounds like affairs. That sounds like maybe you don't necessarily take it outside of the workplace, but there is flirting going on. There is that, like, you're coupled up at work. You guys please comment and let me know, because I'm curious, if this happens at your job, and has that ever happened to you? Do you have a work husband or a work spouse that's a real thing? My husband will never work in another office ever again. He never did. So there you go. Oh no, but it doesn't have to be an office. You could work anywhere and have coworkers. So let's just say you work at Home Depot or a restaurant. That's any workplace. So thank God we're self-employed. Yeah. But this really does exist. How about the church dude? He could be single or married, but he flirts with you. And it happens in church. So I don't want to sit here and, try and say, oh, it's church. It's never going to happen. No, it actually does happen at church. You would think it wouldn't and it shouldn't, but it does. And so, the problem is that some women flirt back, right? And you haven't made it unequivocally known that your husband is your one and only, and he needs to and this dude needs to back off, right? Some of us are nice. Some of us are, and this has never happened to me at church. Babe, I know you're listening. No one has ever flirted with me at our church. Not never. But they wouldn't, because anybody that knows me knows I'm about my dude. Like, anybody that knows me knows I'm about my husband. Like, 100%. I'm about my husband's business. I'm about our marriage. I don't play that. There's nobody. So everybody is very respectful with me at work. And I know when someone's flirting with me. No one has flirted with me. I would say maybe I might have had someone, no, not really, but maybe they know I was married until they realize, okay, she has a ring on her finger, she's married, and they back off. Like, that's it. So I've never had that. And so I'm grateful, because I don't, wouldn't want to have to deal with that. But there are some men that are They will test the waters even in church, which makes me feel really sad because church should be a safe haven. Everyone should be on the same accord. And yes, if you know that a woman is married, you should definitely not be looking at her in any lustful way or reaching out to her in any lustful way. Never, right? Because not only might she tell her husband, and that's going to cause a whole bunch of, stuff, but God's watching you. How are you going to be in church asking for blessings, praying, raising your hand in worship, and then turn around, look at this married woman and be like, let's meet up? No, don't do that. But anyway, some women are flirting with other men at church. Some women have gone even so far as to flirt with pastors. That's a real thing. I don't know if it's looking at him as, being someone that's powerful, a man in power, and, just the stature that he may have. And some women are really attracted to that. But, that's just wrong too on any accord. You don't flirt with the pastor. You just don't do that. So at church should be a no, but women do. Women haven't necessarily made it known. We have broken people that come to church, and sometimes women are so broken that it's just like, oh, this guy smiled at me. He must be interested in me. Or, oh, this guy was extra nice. He was just being nice, And some people read it the wrong way, and sometimes you're not reading it the wrong way. Sometimes you're actually spot on. But if you have a husband, if you have a husband and you go to church, there should be no man at that church that ever thinks, you know what? I like her. I'm going to see if I can take her out. Or I know she's married, but she looks like she may be having trouble. Even if you and your husband are going through it, nobody needs to know that. That's your business. That's your business. You don't need to be telling everybody your business about your marriage. The only people that you talk to about your marriage are women that are going to pour into you and tell you that you need to pray about your marriage and pray about your husband and pray about your situation and watch God work. Women of faith that believe in our God, that our God can do anything and turn anything and everything around. That's who you need to be talking to. But anyway, so it happens at church. We got the coworker, we got the church dude. Who else? How about at the gym? Okay, some of y'all are checking dudes out at the gym. You see him and he sees you, and he sees you, see him see you. Right? Right? There's mirrors. Y'all watching him do his little curl right over you, watching, like, cute, right? What cracks me up is when I see women doing the booty work, right? Because nowadays the booty workout is the thing, right? Everybody wants a round booty, a lifted booty or whatever. So I've seen women do the craziest exercise on Stairmasters and all types of stuff ever. But I don't know. I'm curious as to, the women that are doing that, do they realize how sexual it can look? And if they even care. Some women are just like, well, I'm just in there doing my own exercise. I don't care who's looking. Well, you're wearing leggings. The booty is, popping. You're doing all these squatting exercises, or you're laying on the little plank thing, and then not plank, this little it's a leg exercise that you lay flat on, but your butt is kind of up in the air, and then you're lifting your legs in the back. Listen, all that. If I'm gonna be completely honest, yes, I get it. You're going to the gym to work out, but some of the things I see, it's just like, okay. Now, for the single women that are doing this, I don't have nothing to say. But for the wives that are doing this, there needs to be a certain amount of modesty. Now, if you're working out with your husband, that's something different. But if you're at the gym and guys are watching, guys are looking, and not to say that you shouldn't do your exercise, I don't know, maybe dress in jogging pants. I don't know. I'm not here to judge, but I just know I've seen how men look at women at the gym. And so you might have noticed a guy, he might have noticed you. Oh, you can't wait to go on Wednesdays because he's there on Wednesday, but you got a husband. You got a good whole husband at home. And so I just wanted to kind of advise you to be very, very careful about that. But that's a place that women are looking and are seeing. Do you look his way? That's my question. The guy that is at the gym, do you look his way? If you notice him noticing you, do you look back or do you ignore him? Do you act like, what, I'm just going to stay focused. I'm not going to try and, give him any side eye or a side smile, or how we women do. Like, don't play yourself. You know how we women do. And so I'm just praying that life at home is so good that there's no man at the gym that can think that he can even come at you. And then when your husband does come to the gym with you, if he ever does come to the gym with you, you know, there shouldn't be any man that would be like, you know, walk past him all swole, kind of walking between y'all, whatever, just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, guys, I've seen some immature stuff. I really have. All right, so what about the family barbecue or function? And your cousin Junior came with a couple of his boys. All right? You like, Junior, who that? None ya. Is what Junior should say. None of your business. That's what he should say, right? Did you forget that you are married and have a whole husband at home? Or your husband might be there with you. Some of y'all trifling, I'm telling you. He might be in the other room. You're wrong. I've seen it happen. I've seen it in front of my face. Everything that I'm saying, I've experienced it. And I'm meaning not necessarily that I did it. I mean that I've seen women do it firsthand. And just like talk to the other girlfriends, like, did you see him, Junior bought? Damn, he fine. And he come in there like, does anybody know where the paper plates? Oh, yeah, right. Let me get it for you. Here you go. Flirting and stuff. Like, but your husband's in the next room. And so Junior little friend is like, she got a husband, but she flirting with me. Okay, I can get it. There should be anybody thinking that they could get it from you. Like, seriously. Okay, all right. How about school? Some wives are going back to school to finish up a degree. There's a cutie pie in your class on campus. He cute, he younger, but you in your mind, like, he could get it. Like, how old is he? 22? He could get it. I'm telling you, some of y'all mindset is dead wrong. Oh, and what about the old classmate? Listen, since we're talking about school, you know, the one that popped up on your Facebook, people you may know feed? You haven't seen him for years, and now just like that, he's accessible. Or maybe he reached out, hey, what's up, old classmate? How you doing? Long time no see. Oh, I'm good. How are you? How's things? So on and so forth. All right, we'll stay in contact, whatever. Don't do it. Don't do it. You're like, oh, he looks the same, just a little bit older. You know what? Let me check out his page. Is he married? Does he have any kids? Why? You married. Why you care? Oh, you know your heart and whether or not these are innocent thoughts or not. Last one. The club. Right? Now, if you're married, you're probably not hitting, I'm hoping you're not hitting the clubs like that no more. Or anymore. Seriously, right? But every now and again, you might go out with your girlfriends, you know, girls' night out. All right? Might be celebrating a wedding or a birthday. You look good, you smell nice, and you feeling yourself. All right? You get to the club, and there's a heck of dudes there. Everywhere. You already told yourself and your husband that you're not going to be dancing or talking to no dudes. He ain't got nothing to worry about. Then if you come over to where you and your girls are standing, you make it known that you're married, but there's this one guy that gives zero cares, right? He's the funny dude, you know, the funny one in the bunch. He makes everybody laugh, including you. Catches glimpses of you looking at him and laughing at his jokes. Somehow he gets an audience with you. Maybe you don't take his number, but you know his name and easily find him on Facebook or social media, right? Snapchat or whatever it is that people do. So when your husband asks you, did you talk to anyone? Or rather, did you get anyone's number? You're like, nah. There was this group of dudes trying, you know what I'm saying? But I let everybody know I'm married. I wasn't even interested in nobody like that. So you ain't got nothing to worry about, boo. But you've looked dude up. You know who you are. I'm telling you, this whole conversation, I am talking to specific women out there. And if you felt that goosebumps or whatever, then I'm talking to you. Yes. Why? Because some women are out here trying to look for the back of dude. And even if you don't think you are, you've already made a note somewhere that there is somebody that you could call if your husband and you were to break up, split for a little while. Let's see. If you guys got into an argument or whatever, and he went to go stay at his mama house for a little while, and you're just like, Don't get a glass of wine in you. Make all types of bad decisions, right? So you might tell your husband that this group of dudes tried it, but you let it be known that you were married. I said that. You probably won't tell him that you look dude up and can get a hold of him if the wrong circumstances came about. But be clear. Dude at the club, his ultimate goal is to get the panties. Period. To conclude, there should never be a backup. There should never be a side dude. There should never be one in the chamber. There should never be an extra. There should never be someone that just in case you and your husband happen to split up, there should never be anybody that's waiting in the wings in your mind. Because a lot of times we have that mindset, right? I'll talk about that in a second. For a married woman, especially for a Christian married woman, there should be no one else besides your husband. Your husband should be your one and only in every sense of the word, even if things aren't going right. He is as much a part of you as you are of him. And when you allow the Jezebel spirit to align with your spirit, it causes issues in your covenant. Ask God to give you a fresh pair of loving eyes for your husband. And also, remember, even when your husband can't see what you're doing, God can. And that's real talk. I wanted to touch on this really quickly. I remember way back before, that used to be my mindset. When I was dating years ago, before I even started having kids, I always had somebody else. I always had a backup somebody, right? Because I guess back when I was dating, it just wasn't anybody that was concrete per se. But you're young, you meeting a bunch of guys. It's like, okay, you already categorize people. This guy, yeah, he's good for going out. This guy's good for Red Lobster. This guy is good for Netflix and chill, except for it wasn't Netflix and chill back then. You know what I mean? But what I'm saying is that once you get married, that mindset has to change. That mindset has to leave. Because I know, first of all, that it's hard sometimes to break that mindset, especially when you've had it for so long, especially if that's something that you've been taught by mom, by auntie, by friends, by whoever it is that you listen to. I don't know, Cardi B, whoever, right? Somebody might have implanted that seed inside of you that said, hey, you know what? Don't wait for this dude to mess up, because you always can have somebody in the back burner just waiting. And I'm here to tell you that when you start your covenant, when you start your marriage and you have decided that you're going to give yourself to your husband, and that's it, like you really have to have that mindset that is it, that it's impenetrable. No one can come in between you guys. And be also clear that the enemy likes to play those games. So just when you're like, hey, I'm not going to talk to anybody, he'll send somebody your way that you're just like, wow, he's really, really cute. Do you know that there were women and wives writing to, I remember his name, Jeremy Meeks, I think it is. He's an inmate, and people were going gaga over him, his eyes, and just thought he was really cute. And there were women writing into him, left, right, and center, like, I'll be your girlfriend, like, I'll do this and I'll do that. I mean, it's insane the way that people think. And I think that we also think visually sometimes, and, oh, this guy is nice looking, but know that the enemy sent the apple to Eve, and it was nice and shiny, and it looked really good too. Okay. And I want you guys to be careful. I want you wives to be careful about who you are talking to, consorting with. Your mindset, it needs to stay on God. It really, really does, because the enemy is out for your marriage. And if he thinks you're weak, he's going to send whatever it is that you like right to you, right in your path. Somebody that if you need a laugh, it's going to make you laugh. Somebody that if you're looking for, I don't know, whatever your type is, he'll send something similar, right? Somebody that's understanding and understands everything that you may be going through. Listen, the enemy is cunning, but he's not smart. Okay. And you have to learn how to outwit the enemy and know when this is coming. It's like on Facebook, when you say something out loud in front of your friends, and then all of a sudden an ad pops up that you were just talking about skiing, and there's a skiing ad or whatever. You get what I'm saying? Guard your heart, guard your mind, guard your husband, Guard your loins. Guard everything, right? And get rid of the backup if you have one. It's time to wife up, ladies. You know what time it is. Thanks, guys, for hanging out. That's my time.